King Saul passed away on this day. In the narrative of King Saul's demise, the biblical account underscores profound lessons about human responsibility and the consequences of one's actions. Often, when faced with adversity, individuals are quick to attribute blame to external factors or events, neglecting their own role in shaping their destinies. This tendency to avoid responsibility, however, can lead to destructive cycles, as exemplified in the tragic story of King Saul. King Saul, chosen by God to be Israel's first monarch, found himself ensnared in a perilous cycle of false accusations, blame shifting, and a refusal to acknowledge personal shortcomings. The account of his death, recorded in 1 Chronicles, unveils a poignant narrative of loss, not only of Saul's life, but also of his 3 sons on the same fateful day. The historical context reveals the constant threat posed by the Philistines, a formidable adversary equipped with advanced military technology acquired through trade with distant regions. The narrative in 1 Chronicles 10:1-2 vividly describes the Philistine incursion into Israeli territory and the subsequent gathering of Saul's army at Mount Gilboa in preparation for war. As the Philistines pursued Saul and his sons, a tragic turn of events unfolded. The men of Israel fled, succumbing to the superior weaponry of the Philistines. Jonathan, Abinadab, and Malchishua, Saul's sons, met their demise in the relentless pursuit. The Amplified Bible captures the intensity of the battle, portraying the desperate situation faced by Saul and his army. The pivotal moment occurs when Saul, witnessing the advancing Philistine army, is gripped with fear and profound distress. 1 Samuel 28:5. Saul's leadership, once marked by promise, now crumbled under the weight of external threats and internal turmoil. This moment sets the stage for Saul's tragic end, a culmination of a series of choices that led him away from God's favor. The Amplified Bible in 1 Chronicles 10:13-14 unveils the divine judgment upon Saul. His trespasses, failure to keep God's word, and resorting to consulting a medium for guidance, a clear violation of God's commands, sealed his fate. The Lord, in response, took Saul's life and transferred the kingdom to David, the son of Jesse. The tragedy of King Saul's life serves as a cautionary tale, emphasizing the importance of personal responsibility and adherence to God's commands. Saul's journey, marked by initial humility, but marred by pride, disobedience, and a penchant for blaming others, mirrors a pattern of wasted potential. Despite significant opportunities and a favorable position, Saul's ultimate failure stemmed from his refusal to submit wholeheartedly to God. Saul's impatience, impulsiveness, and attempts to justify his actions rather than admitting mistakes characterize his gradual decline. The narrative underscores Saul's guilt in causing his own destruction, with the Bible unapologetically attributing his downfall to personal failings rather than external forces. The tragic turning point occurs when Saul, faced with the Philistine threat and the absence of the prophet Samuel, resorts to consulting a medium, an act explicitly forbidden by God. This desperate attempt for supernatural guidance, driven by a lack of faith and disobedience, highlights Saul's departure from the path of righteousness. The account in 1 Samuel 28:8-16 details Saul's encounter with the medium, seeking communication with the deceased Samuel. Despite the medium's initial reluctance, she ultimately brings up Samuel's spirit, delivering a message of impending doom. Samuel's words, echoing God's abandonment of Saul, serve as a sobering confirmation of divine judgment. The controversy surrounding this episode, debated by commentators, emphasizes the severity of Saul's situation. Whether a genuine return of Samuel's spirit or a divine intervention using forbidden means, the outcome remains the same, a pronouncement of judgment on Saul. His disobedience, symbolized by consulting a medium, becomes the catalyst for God's rejection and the eventual transfer of the kingdom to David. Saul's tragic death on Mount Gilboa, surrounded by the loss of his sons and the defeat of Israel, leaves a lasting impact on the nation. The people of Jabesh Gilead, expressing gratitude for Saul's earlier rescue from the Ammonites, embark on a perilous journey to recover and honor Saul's remains. The subsequent 7-day fast becomes a genuine expression of grief for the fallen king and his sons. The profound lessons derived from Saul's tragic story transcend the pages of biblical history, resonating with contemporary challenges of responsibility, humility, and obedience. Saul's life, marked by fleeting success and ultimate failure, serves as a stark reminder that external accomplishments cannot compensate for a lack of genuine connection with God. The narrative prompts introspection, urging individuals to examine their hearts and actions. Saul's descent into disobedience and reliance on forbidden practices underscores the importance of staying faithful to God's commands, even in moments of desperation. His tragic end becomes a cautionary tale, encouraging a reevaluation of priorities and a commitment to genuine spiritual connection. In the broader context of biblical themes, the story of King Saul aligns with the overarching narrative of God's desire for a leader who submits to his lordship. Despite Saul's shortcomings, God's plan for Israel persists, ultimately fulfilled through David, a man after God's own heart. As we reflect on King Saul's life and demise, the enduring message remains clear: personal responsibility, faithfulness to God's commands, and humility in the face of adversity are paramount. The tragic tale of Saul serves as a timeless reminder that true success lies not in external achievements, but in a steadfast commitment to a life aligned with God's will. In conclusion, the demise of King Saul encapsulates a narrative of responsibility, tragedy, and divine judgment. The intricate details of Saul's choices, his gradual departure from God's commands, and the consequences of his actions convey profound lessons for readers across generations. Beyond the historical account, the story of King Saul resonates as a timeless exploration of human nature, accountability, and the enduring consequences of choices made in defiance of God's will.
If you found this video enjoyable, please consider liking and sharing it. Additionally, subscribing to this channel will ensure that you receive more updates in the future. Thank you.